Alright everyone, this is Videogamelover58 and welcome to my review of Sonic Blast Man 2, and I'm actually recording my using my headset mic through my laptop, so that's kind of why my voice sounds a heck of a lot different than you normally would hear. But anyways, this game came out in 1994, I believe. I don't remember the exact date, but I think it came out 1994. It is the sequel to the first Sonic Blast Man that came out in 1992. It was released in arcades, the first Sonic Blast Man, but it was a lot different. It was like a punching game where you hit a punching bag, but a lot of people actually got injured from that. So they couldn't do that with the Super Nintendo version, so they decided to make the first game into a basic beat 'em up. The big problem with the first game was the game ran, I wouldn't say it ran slow, but your character ran really slow. But the enemies ran fast, so because of that, it just gives a disadvantage to the player. So that's why the first game was an okay beat 'em up, but there were just issues up the ass about that game, like the whole if you die, if you lose all your lives, you have to start at the beginning of the level. That's just dumb, except for the last level. So for the sequel, first thing the biggest difference is what you just saw like a minute ago. You could choose up to 3 characters. You could be Sonic Blast Man, you could be Sonia, and Captain Shorter. The captain is the one that hits the hardest, but he slows out. Sonia hits the weakest, but she's the fastest. And Sonic Blast Man is your average guy, but I like to be Sonic Blast. When you attack in this game, you have a lot of attacks. For example, when you start doing the punching combo, if you just tap Y, he does a rapid punch and does some damage. But if you hold forward and then Y, he does his uppercut move, and it does a lot more. So, just want to mention you guys that. If you also hold the X button, you do a little special move, and if you start like jumping around, you do like a leg drop and things like that. It's really cool. In this footage, I actually did not show you the dodge move. If you press A, you start dodging. So I just want to let you guys know about that. So for this sequel, so if you don't know the plot of this game, after you beat Heavy Blast Man the first game, he returns, and now this time he has like more allies. That's essentially the plot of this game. I mean, well, most beat 'em ups you kind of don't pay attention to the plot, you just want to play the damn game. So the biggest improvement with Sonic Blast Man 2 than 1 is, no surprise, it runs very well. It might look like it runs a little choppy thanks to Bandicam, but believe me, it doesn't. It runs really, really smooth. I think it's because they shrunk the sprite size, because in the first game the sprites were really, really massive, but in this game they're a hell of a lot smaller. By the way, that's my special move. If you hold down R and Y, Sonic Blast Man will shoot out a fireball. If you hold L and X, he'll do his move that he did in the first game, and it does some damage to the enemies and bosses. You can't spam that a lot because you'll run out of your little number icon, so just keep that in mind. Graphically, this game is pretty good for a Super Nintendo game. The colors match up fine. It looks really good. Taito did a very good job with the graphics of this game. The music is really, really catchy in this game. I mean, that's the one thing I did like about the first game. The first game had a pretty decent soundtrack. This game's soundtrack is really good. There's not that many songs, unfortunately, but whenever there is songs, it's pretty damn good. Especially stages 1, 2, and 3 have really good music. Difficulty-wise, this game isn't hard. It's not that hard, but I will say there are enemies that will kind of annoy you. Trust me, later down the road, you'll fight these like jumping clown-looking enemies, and they're pretty damn annoying to take down. You also fight those guys that look like a Kuma. Those guys are pretty annoying, and some of the bosses can be a little tricky, but this game is not too hard. It's pretty average in terms of difficulty. Now, as I said about the first game, how if you lose all your lives, you have to start back at the beginning of the level. In this game, if you lose all your lives, you have to start back at the level you're at. So let's say if I lose all my lives in this part, I actually have to start back on this section. But at least you don't have to start the whole level over again. You have a couple of lives. You can start with 5 lives. I don't know why I didn't choose that. And here we are. We got the first boss of the game. He's not really too difficult. Just gotta be careful with him. Now when we get to the biggest hurdle for you guys to ever play this game. This game is very, very expensive. This is a very expensive Super Nintendo game. I've seen this game go for like $100 on eBay. So, if I would recommend you Sonic Blast 2, I recommend you guys playing it on an emulator or getting a reproduction card. Because this game is very rare. It did not sell well at all in 1994, and it's a very overlooked game on the Super Nintendo. And it's a real shame because this game is really a lot of fun to play, especially with 2-player. So that's the big plus of Sonic Blast 2. You can play with 2 players, and it's just a lot of fun. It's a shame that this is a very overlooked gem on the Super Nintendo, because I think this is like one of the top 5 best beat-em-ups on the Super Nintendo. And by the way, this song kicks a lot of ass. So yeah, so the question is, do I recommend Sonic Blast 2? Absolutely. This is a very fun 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up game. It plays very well. The difficulty is not that hard. Great music, some really good graphics. This is one I recommend if you have an emulator, because if you try to get the real card, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. So I recommend getting a reproduction card, and I also recommend you guys get it on an emulator because it is really expensive. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this review of Sonic Blast 2. I definitely love this game a lot, and maybe in the future I'll do a Let's Play this. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this review, and Videogamelover58 signing out. Peace!